Hello and welcome everyone to Galactic Gumbo episode 32. This is your nerd topic show where we're going to be talking about our top 17 purchases of 2017. Yes, we did include box sets as just one, so a little bit of cheating there. It's not our top, 17 figures, but top purchases there. Also, a couple of little topics that we'll probably get into if we have time. But I figured let's go ahead and do intros, waiting on Mike, and we'll get into hauls. So, Dakota, where can people find you?
You can find me everywhere at PrimalSabbath.
Dalton?
I'm Dalton. You can find me everywhere at Daltonians TFs.
Rick?
And I'm over on Twitter at Shatrdglassjazz.
And you can find me everywhere, G1 Extron at Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook pages, the G1 Extron. A couple of things real quick. We just finished up on Cybercast, so if you want to go watch that, it is already in video form. We do have a collection spotlight for the following show, so that'll be airing in 2 weeks on Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. But if you want to be spotlighted in a future show, you can take pictures of your collection, send it in an email to me at g1extron@gmail.com. Tell me what you want to be referred to as, and we will show that off to everybody that watches the show. The other little thing is I've partnered up with T-Block, so if you want to use code G1TBX for 10% off your subscription, go ahead and do that. It helps you out, it helps me out, and you get some really cool items in there. All right, let's go ahead and get into hauls. What'd you get, Dakota?
I got one thing this week, and it's actually making it to. It's going to be the first item on my top 17 for 17. So, but it's a prototype. So
that's it. That's all you got.
We'll see it. Yeah, we'll see it when we see it. How about that?
All right. What about you, Dalton? Hauls for past couple weeks, I guess.
The only things I got the past couple weeks, Power of the Primes, Legends class figures, and Prime Masters. So.
All right, and what about you, Rick?
Last 2 weeks, I got the Power of the Primes Legends, and I got 2 vintage G.I. Joe guys. I got Lightfoot and Downtown, and I picked up the Playmobil Ghostbusters Ecto-1.
The what? What Ghostbusters?
So, there's a little story. I bought my kid some of the Playmobil figures, the Ghostbuster figures.
Okay.
And then they made the Ecto-1, so he's getting that too. He has a few of the Ghostbuster figures now already, but he's getting some stuff for Christmas. I got him that, and when I did my research to kind of figure out what I should get him, that looked pretty cool. So I picked one up for myself as well. And the last thing I got was the Hot Toys First Order Executioner figure.
Okay, nice. All right, for me, I got the Power of the Primes. I got the Dreadwind, Slag, Swoop, and
Jazz.
No, I didn't get Jazz.
What?
Saw them today, but I didn't pick them up. I got the Beachcomber, and then I got the little bitty mini guys, and then I ended up getting the Star Wars 6-inch Black Series Rose. So
nice.
Still looking for the Donna Solo. I think I'm gonna buy 2 of them. Have one with like lightsaber, and the other one with a pilot helmet and stuff like that.
I was gonna say, are you gonna take like a drill bit and drill it through his abdomen? Where you put the lightsaber through it? You said you were getting an Old Man Han, right?
No, I've already got that. Is it Jana Solo?
Yeah, expanded universe.
Oh, I thought you said Han.
No,
okay.
No, they have the same last name, but they are related. They're not the same person.
Well, dude, whenever you get another Old Man Han, let me drill a hole through it for that lightsaber.
I'll have to find one and see if I can find another one. I think that'd look cool. Sportimus says Fan Toys Soar Blue. You got Apache Fans Hobby Feeling. Is that really the name of a figure?
I think it's Feelong.
Okay, it says Feeling.
Feelong or something.
And then Transformers Beachcomber, and then and the Star Wars Black Snoke. Okay. The one with the throne. Snoke. Okay. And you also got a KFC Crash Hog, Retgar, and Star Wars Black Series Eliminator. Probably the Executioner is what he means.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think the Eliminator, isn't that Kylo's ship?
Oh, the ship.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I guess the 3 3/4 inch little ship. Okay.
It's a cool tool.
Always forget that there's a 3 3/4 inch. No, he said it is the Executioner. Okay.
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 All right. Well, we're still waiting on Mike. Let's go ahead and crack this sucker open. We're just gonna go like Dakota names one, then Dalton you name one, then Rick you name one, and then I will, and then we'll keep on going. I know I was talking with Dalton. Me and him didn't number our list. Dakota, did you number yours, or is it just
mine's kind of sort of numbered like
okay? So not
like these, like the first like 5 are like from least to better, but like everything after that, I couldn't. It's just whatever I grabbed first.
All right, Rick's the only one that spent more hours on this than the rest of us. He said that,
I'll take that back. My number one though is my absolute number one. So
okay, because Rick said that no, I numbered them, so I'm gonna be going through numbers.
Yeah. Countdown.
All right, so we'll do that. If you want to say a little bit about it, why it's on your list, then feel free to do that. So Dakota, you go first, man.
All right, so my haul this week actually, I went very prototype crazy this year, and I found this at pretty much here at the end. It's a prototype for Tigerhawk, and like the Transmetal 2 stuff is like typically pretty hard to find. Like there's not a whole lot of options out there, like buying options. So it needs some, like I tried straightening some of the stuff out because like the plastic's a little warped on it, and that's why it's like so close to the bottom. But it's a floppy mess, and I love it, man. And like he's one of my favorite characters in Beast Wars. So he made it to the list.
Transformer.
Yeah, it's a Transformer.
Okay.
Yeah. Dick.
For me, I'm gonna have I'm just gonna say the Legends exclusive Scourge that they did, or Black Convoy. That's my first one. Working my way up, so starting from the bottom.
Now we're here.
What about you, Rick?
Number 17 is the SDCC Revolution box set.
I'm glad someone named it.
The reason for me, I think it's different for so many people because there's so many figures in the set that you can please a lot of people, I think. But for me, I like getting the Visionary character, the Leoric. I thought that was really cool. Getting that roadblock that we never got, that was a cool way to get him in.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely Rom, because I've been reading the books and stuff. And then Action Man, because the Revolutionaries book was probably the most solid book. So, and you can kind of piece that team together a little bit. It's not perfect, but because we got this box set, it's not bad. So there you go. I thought it was a cool box set. I'm glad they did it.
Dude, that was definitely on my short list. Like right there. I loved it.
All right. I guess I'll just name the first two that the ones that I didn't bring over here to show off. So Titans Returns Trypticon. I was like, that's gonna be on the list somewhere. I love Trypticon, and I sold the G1 because of this one. So I haven't opened it yet, but I know it'll be on the list. It's got to be on the list. So.
Yep.
All right. I guess that's me again.
Yep. You see how it's going? All right.
Yeah. All right. So surprise, another prototype. And this is a test shot for the it was a Car Robots Gigatron, or Robots in Disguise Megatron. But it's actually got the little spark crystal and of course my terrible webcam is going to pick it up. But it's got the spark crystal that was used on the BotCon 2016 one, and these popped up shortly before BotCon 2016. So I want to say this is what they used to like check and see if the mold was still good. So anyways, he definitely made it, and it's nice, man. I like these ivory color prototypes, so it's nice and tight, and it's not a floppy mess like that Tigerhawk. So
That's a Transformer?
It is also a Transformer, yes.
Okay. All right.
All right, for me, I mean, it's a little bit of a surprise. Something non-Transformers. The Black Series 6-inch Darth Vader that just came out here about 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I know what that is.
Very nice.
Very nice.
So,
number 16 for me, Titans Return Top Spin / Twin Twist. Honestly, I still think it's one of the best. It's just one of the best Titans Return figures, and I like the play mechanic. And if I was going to have one or two in here, that would be the one.
All right. The other thing that I didn't bring over here, and I still haven't opened it yet, but I know that it'd be on this list. The animated Batmobile made it last year, so therefore this year the Batwing's gonna make it. So that thing, I know. Rick, he's waiting. I'm still waiting for you to show it off to me, so I know if I need to buy it or not.
Tell me if I need to get it before it's gone.
I think time's a wasted.
All right, so I did a fair amount of backtracking this year for some third-party stuff and even some official stuff. But one of those, I got the Make Toys Trash Talk and Cogwheel. So I got my little IDW Swerve, and I've had this my first blaster for a while. It comes with like a little drink tray and stuff like that. So anyways, he made it just because like I love the character Swerve. I had the official one, and this is the head from the official. I drilled a hole in it.
You like that mod I found, huh?
Yeah, that really worked because I had the official like the Generations one standing in, but man, it just doesn't beat this actual like Milne design. So
Okay, I need to hurry up and get those.
Everybody loves Swerve.
And that's Transformer too.
It is. Don't worry, man. I got.
Are they all Transformers?
I have a couple that are non-Transformers.
Okay, all right.
A couple.
We usually see a pattern. So. All right.
All right, so for me, it'd be the diecast Voltron set based on the Netflix series. So that's my number 15.
It's cool.
Good job, Dalton. I like Dalton's list. Diversity.
Well, that's where it dies on my list. So
You're really going to like this one then. Number 15, Masterpiece Optimus Primal.
Yes, sir. Round of applause for Rick. That's what I'm talking about.
Boo.
Which one did you get? Did you get the show accurate one or the toy?
Just the show, the first one.
I gotcha.
All right. I just grabbed one because it's, I've got all three of the mold, but I figured that, this one, I love the colors on it. Then it comes with the Target Master, so I decided to go with Art Fire. So I finally got my hands on these, got them on sale, and I love the mold.
Yeah,
These are awesome.
Mold. Really is a good toy.
All right, man. Next up is the Takara Legends Lyle Convoy. I really like this, man, because the club kind of used their fiction for this for Beast Wars Uprising, and this was basically like a transmetal body for this guy. It was kind of like another upgrade or whatever. So, anyways, it was really cool seeing Takara show some love to the Beast Wars Second Commander and not calling it Leo Prime or Optimus Lion or something stupid. So. He definitely made the list, and like I even customized my Alpha Trion to be the Gabalio Convoy. So, being that like this was one of the final like things that the club did, it's cool. It's cool, having it on the shelf with the rest of those Beast Wars Uprising characters.
all right, so for me, my number 14 is the Titans Return or Power of the Primes Dreadwind.
You should have just called it Combiner Wars, which is what
yeah.
Vintage.
Yeah.
I really like the color scheme on it, and the fact that they're doing Dreadwind and Darkwing, just it's cool. So looking forward to Hydra and Buster.
Number 14, Hot Toys, Jyn Erso. Really like that one. I really like Rogue One. It's such a good film, and if I had to pick like one out of the batch of figures that came out, it'd be her. I think they knocked it out of the park. I think the deluxe version is stellar because whatever you want to do with her from the film, I mean, it's there. So
whatever.
You know, that you do. That you do.
Her hair smells nice. All right. Well, I've already named, something from the DC Collectibles animated series, and this is probably one of the best figures to date, and it's one of the larger ones. This Clayface is amazing.
Yeah.
Looks like it just jumped right out of the cartoon. So starting to get into some figures, and I love this thing. Again, I don't have them listed in any particular order. It's just they're just all top 17 for me.
Yeah, that's a great figure, though. If I had to pick like one or two from the line so far, that one's definitely in the top 2 from that BTAS.
Yeah, that's what I think.
All right, man. I got a big boy here for this next one, and it's the Legends God Jinrai. I was super impressed with this, man. Like, I didn't get the Super Jinrai. I waited until God Bomber came out, and I just had them both shipped together. But it's really cool. I always love the God Jinrai look, but I wasn't gonna pay $100 for a brick. But I happily paid $100 for something with articulation and paint and style. And it's like this thing. It really did blow me away. I have enjoyed this thing quite a bit this year. So definitely this guy. I
still need to mess with that thing. I haven't transformed.
Did you find them?
I found them. I found them both. Like they're over here. I don't know if you can see them, like over by Six Shot. So clean this area up a little bit.
My number 13, I'm gonna have to give to the Combiner Wars Swoop. He's my favorite deluxe so far in the wave, and just finally having a somewhat tune accurate version of him in this scale just makes me really happy. So
you got 2 things that you purchased in the past couple weeks making the list.
Yep.
Number 13, I've got Fun Pub Pretender Megatron. I had to put one of their Pretenders in there. I was really glad that they were able to get that mold and give us something fun. I like the fiction that came along with it. That they deserve to have a spot in here one last time.
I had let's see, one. Let me get this because there's a couple pieces to it. I think I had a couple icons last year, and could only really one that kind of set itself apart from all the rest of them. It's the Batgirl with the bike, and the little stand and stuff. This is just one amazing looking figure, especially whenever you compare it, because I bought the Mattel Multiverse and it is night and day. It looks, one's obviously looks like it's for a collector. The other one obviously looks like it's for a 5-year-old. So
yeah.
We got 2 Dakotas in here.
Sorry, yeah. I had to like pan to camera 2, please. If I can get it to work. Okay. It would do this. It would screw up on this one. So let's see. Can you guys see that? Let me back it up a little bit. There we go. So Rick, I couldn't pick one. Like, this is where I had to cheat for sure.
Yeah.
Because they came together, and it was just so hard to choose, man. But the Fun Pub Pretenders, the Grand Max shell was just really cool to get in collectors' hands, and it came with that relatively cool, like that canceled G2 Megatron deco with that tank, and even the little canceled Space Warp, which again really neat. And then just the Primal in general, or not the Prime, the Prime, that new head sculpt. I really like that swerve mold too. So, yeah. But that new head sculpt is aces, and the little Jinrai guy. It just, man, the whole set was really tied together, dude. Like I thought I was gonna be more excited for like the actual wreckers, but like these really blew me away. So.
Well, you and I must be like psychic or something, because number 12 is the same for me. The Pretender Prime and Megatron. I mean, you've pretty much said all that I should have said, but I mean, exactly. The Prime, using that swerve mold is great. The Megatron, even with them molding that little piece to connect them based on his old G1 little blaster thing,
Yeah, that
was great.
insane.
Yeah.
So, they're both a lot of fun.
And let's see, number 12 is Mastermind Creations Rodimus, just the regular More Than Meets the Eye colors Rodimus. Now, I bought this mold at least 3 times this past year, so I'm digging the mold. But a lot of it for me is it's not complicated. You can transform it in like 2-3 minutes, and it represents. If you love that comic, it just represents the comic really well. So, and I think Mastermind Creations is just, they're going to come up a few times tonight, but I just think they're head and shoulders better than the other third-party companies. There's a few I like, but I just think that they're just the best.
See, Rick, you and we may have a little bit of conflict there for the Rodimus, but you're right. Mastermind is going to come up a couple more times.
I'm going to do one that Dalton did already. Obviously, when that classic Voltron comes out, that's obviously, probably going to make the list for next year. But as it stands right now, I really enjoy this Netflix show, and I really, after watching it, I wanted those toys, and I was like, I heard about this diecast, and I was like, hang on, that sounds a little bit more up my alley, and I love this thing. Just messing with it, I've thought about going and buying those bigger figures, but I just where are you gonna put some of this stuff, So
yeah.
So who all thinks Mike is gonna wait till we get to like number 5 and then hop in and be like, well, I'll just do my 5. But for me, this next one is gonna be Titans Return Grotesque. I managed to literally just wake up whenever one of my other group chats told me that it was up on Hasbro Toy Shop, so I was able to get it. And yeah, I really like it, man. Like Josh, we got to mess with that third-party one at Mike's show. So I don't know. Since that was my first kind of hands-on Monster Bot experience, I like this one particularly, and it's cool to have it because he's on the Lost Light, and I got to have a full Lost Light crew on my shelves. But the paint is just so well done on this. Like the RC really burned me, but thank God I got that one second, and I got this one first. So yeah, this one definitely made it to the list. It's a great remold. It's like fun pub level type stuff.
I still need that.
See, for me, my number 12 is going to be the Legends Beachcomber. I don't know why. It is a lot of fun, and it's great to finally have one after. It's been 8 years since we had the last one. So having a little Beachcomber and this scale articulation looking pretty much like he stepped out of the cartoon just really works. I mean, I really like it. So
8 years.
How do you
just keep that on the top of your head and just?
I'm telling you, man. Trivia. Whenever Pete does trivia, robot.
It was the last Dalton, one that we had. It was the universe.
Dalton, we're going in, dude. We're going in.
And this one over here, last time we came back, this one was December 27th of 2012.
I'm not that good.
That Rain Man trivia.
Right?
Dalton,
oh my God.
Dalton, don't sell yourself short, bro. Don't sell yourself short.
All right. Number 11 is Blitzway, Peter Venkman. These Ghostbusters. I could have easily just put Blitzway Ghostbusters, but I got them separately, so they didn't come in the same box. But yeah, I thought that this is the first time Blitzway has ever made any of the lists, and it's the first thing I've ever bought from them, and I am on board if they do their next project as well as they did these Ghostbusters. So anyway, yeah, awesome.
All right. All right, start. Let me just go ahead and grab these. Well, let's do some more animated stuff. I still haven't got around to opening these yet, but this little 3-pack, Batman Beyond, the Terry McGinnis, and then the Bruce Wayne, and then Ace the dog. I remember buying the Mattel Total Heroes, exclusive that they had on their thing. Batman Beyond figure, and I was just like, yeah, it's cool to have this because I really wanted one, but it's this Total Heroes, which is meant for like 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
And to get this one, it's obviously, for collectors. So
yeah, it's a nice set.
Oh yeah, it's me next. Okay, so
that's how we've been
dude,
doing.
I kept thinking, I was like, I don't know why, but in my brain, my head told me that Mike was here, so I was like, okay, yeah, Mike can catch up because like having to set stuff up. All right, so the next one for me is the Marvel Legends Old Man Logan. I was very excited to see that they got this, and like I was actually able to get this one. And I was reading the Old Man Logan standalone title at the time. I've since dropped it, but I'm reading Weapon X, which he's still a part of. But I just like his character, So he was definitely worthy of making it to the list. I'm not really a 6-inch guy, so I'm waiting for them to hopefully give us a 3 3/4-inch version at some point. But I'll still keep hanging on to the 6-inch. So.
All right. So for me, I have to go with one I got as a Christmas gift, and I totally forgot it, but for the halls. But number 10 is going to be the Walmart exclusive Transmetal 2 Ravage. Wow, I was really blanking there.
I know, dude. You're surprising me. You're letting me down. You're almost off the team.
But no, I've been wanting this guy forever now, and to get it as a Christmas gift, I'm really happy to have it. So,
I just picture whenever you go to the Pete's convention, and like Dakota's all like, "All right, I need to know if I have brain fart Dalton or I have Rain Man Dalton," and then Dakota he just throws like a bunch of toothpicks on the ground. And, number, give me number. 72. All right.
I got it. Oh man.
All right, number. What are we on? 10? Yeah.
I have no idea.
Number 10, Titans Return Triptychon. This one had to make the list. Like last year, I think most of us had Fortress Maximus on there. This one is phenomenal. It looks really good, like on your shelf with the other Titans figures. The playset's cool after you get a million stickers on it. But the sculpt was out of this world. It was probably the best sculpt that Hasbro put out this year. Like just because there's so much detail in it, and I just feel like they went above and beyond with being able to eat the Titan Masters and stuff. It's fun. So yeah,
and there were the cereal box mock-ups too.
Yeah. I felt like they gave that a lot of attention, and it's worthy of anybody's. If you're a Transformers fan, it's probably one of the best things they did this year. So,
all right, not necessarily a particular one, but like basically all 4 of these things. But if I had to pick one, Donnie, because he's my favorite. But these quarter scale Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
I'm showing the mic, but. I haven't opened Mike and Leo yet, but these are amazing. Other than my Raph having a broken sigh, but
oh man,
yeah. They told me like, have you tried super gluing it? Well, we've got $400 worth of your quarter scale turtles. I'd rather not have a broken weapon on one of them.
Yeah.
Same company that's got me and possibly you blocked.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, and I've got, I've got more NECA stuff. I'm about to bring up another $300 set that, on this list.
They need to send you that part, man.
I'm like, I'll be even willing to pay for it. Like, what do you want? $20? I'm willing to pay for it.
All right, so my next one is another kind of backtrack piece, but I got this this year, the Mastermind Creations Tarn. And oh man, I was just blown away. Like I bought it from my buddy Joe. He wasn't too like happy with it. You know, for him it was, I guess, a little too simple or whatever. And he's not super into the IDW stuff, but oh my god, dude! And like seeing them, you know, that they're gonna make Helix and Tesserus and Nickel and the Pet, like, you know, Tarn, man, like this is probably one of the best figures I've handled all year. Just in terms of playability and, you know, paint and accuracy and everything else, like Mastermind really does do a good job, and I feel like they definitely treat the Decepticons with a little more love, I feel, than the Autobots. But great mold, man. Like you know, minor complaints all around on this. It's pretty much perfect.
See, for me, I'm gonna cheat again, and I'm gonna say the subscription service Wreckage. Just the way he turned out, the figures that they've used to complete it, but just as a combiner itself, it looks great. The colors pop really well. You know, and I'm also a big sucker of green and purple. So
it's a good combiner. You know, leave it to Fun Pub to know how to make a Wreckers combiner. Hasbro could not. They did
No, they can't.
All right, number 9. Going back to 1988 and talking a little bit of G.I. Joe. This year I picked up a Cobra Bug, and you know, I was out of G.I. Joe. Yeah, it's a really cool, weird vehicle, and I was out of Joe at 87 as a kid, so I never owned it. And there's a bunch of stuff on here that coming up that are going to be G.I. Joe too. But one of the reasons I'm not showing all my stuff is because if I had brought some of these things coming up are like 50 pounds each, and they're huge. Some of this stuff's huge. So the Cobra Bug is one of my favorite Cobra vehicles that I have now, though. I managed to get a really nice one, and I won't put it in the water. But man, if I was a kid and I had that thing, I would be putting that thing in the water in the swimming pool and, you know, all kinds of stuff. It's really fun. The magic, you can tell, like some of those vehicles around that 87, 88 mark, they started to go a little more sci-fi. And when they did, like, it just, as a kid or even as an adult, like your imagination, man, some of those vehicles, just fun to look at the designs.
The Cobra Bug is probably one of the, I'd put it in the top 5 of the weirdest G.I. Joe vehicles. I mean,
totally.
It's weird looking.
It's got 3 kind of, you know, circles on the front of it, like a double bubble and a bigger, larger dome.
Yeah, they can detach or something, right?
Yeah. Pretty cool.
All right, here's one of my cheats where I did a box set. So another animated series. Oh, there we go. Don't forget her as well. But you know, to get animated series, Bane, Killer Croc, Mr. Freeze, and Poison Ivy, and then what is it, Montoya or something?
Yeah, Montoya.
You know, okay, cool with the Montoya stuff, but you know, these 4 right here, dude. I mean, what a set!
I still haven't gotten that. I need to. I'm very jealous right now. How much should I pay for that?
Man, I'll have to look at the place that I bought it from. I bought it from somewhere else because, like, I looked at like all the major retailers that we usually shop at. They're all sold out on it, and it was just some kind of like comic book shop out in like
that's what I do that a lot.
Or something. You know, that like had it, you know, and had a good deal on it. And I was like, okay, let me get it from you guys. Took them a week to send it out to me, but yeah,
that's cool.
Got it.
All right, man. Next up on my list, Josh, man, I think you might be pretty happy with this one.
Nice, finally one for you.
But the Masterpiece Megatron MP36. This thing, like, you know, everyone knows like I'm not super into G1, but there's a couple of G1 things that I do like. But I'm a big Megatron fan in general. I just love Megatron, and this has kind of been like the year of Megatrons, it seems. This one definitely made it to the list, like with the electronics, you know, and everything like that. And it's just it's so much better than that old MP05, but definitely MP38 with no orange plugs. So, or not MP30, MP36, whatever.
I forgot he even came out this year. So I had to go grab him too. Now I've got to like. Oh,
now you gotta kick one from the list.
Yeah. I don't know. I just got hard.
All right, so my next one is going to be the Shattered Glass Starscream from the subscription service. I love Shattered Glass. I'm really bummed that I missed out on both of the conventions. I do plan on trying to track down the stuff and get the Masterpiece Prime, but having this, just having a Starscream and G1 Jetfire's color scheme is awesome. So
that looks pretty cool too.
It was good for them to do it. Like I'm happy to go that route.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 8 for me. I went back and purchased the JoeCon 2012 Operation Bear Trap set earlier.
Oh, that's a big cheat.
Yeah, it's a box set. So it's basically the October Guard and Iron Grenadiers, like in the most beautiful way you can imagine. Iron Grenadiers looking. It's just a solid set, and I blame Mike and his show and some of the Hardcore Joe guys who were kind of talking about their favorite things that the club had done about a year ago. And I looked at those and I'm like, yeah, they look great on the shelf too. So yeah, JoeCon 2012, great set.
Not that I just, it's always been on my list. Not that I just went up and grabbed this or anything, but I have to go with Masterpiece Megatron, because I totally knew it came out this year. I don't know if I just like skimmed over it or something, because the way I did is I was like, what the heck came out this year? And I usually just go back and look at my Instagram through hauls. So I just skipped over the picture or something. I don't know.
For me, my next one, I'm probably, Rick, you probably read some Marvel books this year, I'm sure. But my favorite run of superhero books now is the Nick Spencer Captain America run. I love Secret Empire. I thought that was a great read. And just definitely his Captain America. I thought it brought more to that character than what has been brought. So whenever Hasbro released this 3 3/4 inch version of the post Pleasant Hill Steve Rogers in his Captain America get up, I had to get it, man. I even had like a little spare Thor hammer for that very iconic scene. And I want to say it was either Secret Empire #0 or the Free Comic Book Day Secret Empire. But whenever he pretty much took down all the superheroes and picked that hammer up and showed the world he was worthy. I just love this design, man. I'm glad it came out in 3 3/4 inch scale, because I love putting my superheroes next to my Joes. But I hope they do make this into a 6 inch pretty soon. So he's definitely high up here on the list.
All right, so some may disagree with my number 7, but I don't care. It's going to be the Mastermind Creations Pallidus. I really enjoy it for what it is, and it's got a fun transformation. That's the main thing I really like about it, is just the transformation, the vehicle mode. They both work really well, in my opinion. So,
number 7 is the Blitzway 1/6 Race Dance Ghostbuster. And technically, the Egon's probably the best sculpt, but I'm a Ray fan, and he comes with the goggles and the cigarettes and stuff, and that just kind of sent him over the top. I think he's the best of the 4.
That'd be Dakota's favorite one too. All right, let's see. Moving those along. Let's do some Black Series for me. I went with the Star Wars 6-inch Black Series Sabine. I've got 2 of them. I got one with the helmet on. I've got one with the helmet off, just because the face sculpt looks so good, and I like all the little deco. Nice paint all over. So she's one of the Black Series figures that made it in for me.
All right, so this, I guess, is where I'm going to conflict a little with Dalton and Rick, but my perfect co-captain of the Lost Light The SXS Toys Hot Flame there. IDW Rodimus. It took a little bit of TLC to get some of the squeak out of the joints. So you can't see it. Get some of the squeak out of the joints. But it's got a lot of moving parts, man. And like, you know, look at how just kind of slender that is. Like there's no extra bits poking out, you know. And I had Pallidus, and Pallidus was good, but this I feel like they just went above and beyond to make sure he kept the sculpt all the way around. It's definitely got that action figure element to being a transformer. I had to paint it, but overall I'm fine with it, and I really look forward to having the Lost Light version for my 2018 stuff. But this dude, like, this blew it out of the water, man. Like, the transformation was intuitive. It was kind of scary at first, but it's been fun since then. So yeah, this is definitely really cool. I'm glad to see SXS kind of giving Mastermind Creations a run for their money. You know, keep them from becoming lazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, I don't disagree with you. I just don't have the figure yet. So
Yeah.
there's that. But my number 6 is going to be the Titans Return Grotesque. It's a lot of fun, and you know, just the color scheme is great on it, and the fact that they took Double Cross and made, you know, a completely different character and beast mode out of it. I've got to commend Hasbro for that. You know, just I'm really impressed with it. So.
They did a good job. Absolutely.
And that Scorponok head that came with it is great too.
I sold us some extra
Real
heads.
quick, Rick, did your Grotesque make it on this list? Because I don't have a Grotesque. These guys were able to order it.
Yeah, I don't have one either. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, thanks,
The
guys.
thing is, we got the notification from another group that we're in, and we didn't know that you guys didn't get it. So
got it. Elitist. All right, cool.
it's whoa,
Yeah.
coming from a sideshow collector.
Speaking of which, what number are we on? 6, number 6.
That's where Rick pulls out a Grotesque and Josh gets
No, I don't have one, Josh. Josh, I see you.
I've
guys.
still been looking, man. I've got it on my phone as one of my tabs on my phone.
It's gonna as soon as they start to ship from Toys R Us, it's gonna pop up on their eBay just like RC did.
Yeah, I do still need it. So there's that. Number 6 though is, speaking of hot toys. And this was a funny story. So I had a friend visit the other night, and her husband was in here, hadn't really seen a whole lot of hot toys or paid attention, you know, to that kind of stuff. And I just asked him a simple question, you know, look around, but before you go, tell me what you think is kind of standout, or, you know, what's one of the sculpts that look really good. And this has come up before, but the Hot Toys Harley Quinn was the figure that we ended up talking about. And I think it's because, you know, they picked a moment in time for that the face sculpt where she's actually laughing, her mouth is open, and it's that moment of time versus just the still dead eyes, dead face. You know, I think that's the reason she's there. I mean, her details are awesome too, but it's really the face sculpt that sells that figure as being like just super hot. It's a great figure.
Does somebody have the audio playing too? I can kind of hear.
Yes, that's why I was wondering.
Yeah, I could hear that. All right, one more Black Series figure that made my list. I don't really know a whole lot about this character, to be honest, because I don't read the little graphic novels or anything like that with Expanded Universe. But I mean, the outfit looks awesome. He's a Sith, and I love the mixture of plastic and cloth. And you have 2 lightsabers, and one's red and one's purple. I love the mask. You got a hoodie. I love hoodies. So
I like the Assassin's Creed Sith. Yeah,
I like this one.
Okay, Josh. Question. That's Darth Raven, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, is that one like hard to find?
Yep.
God, dude.
Actually, Mike, he found one, and he, you know, in a store, and he was like, "You still need this?" I was like, I was thinking about getting a second one, but I was like, no. So I mean, he had one for. I told him to buy it, and he could probably sell it for double, triple, or whatever, you know, whenever he wanted to.
I'll have to check my Walmart. You know how my Walmart is. It's like milk and honey.
Oh yeah, you probably got 10 of them at your Walmart.
So
This
is it a kind of recent wave release, or how many waves back?
No, man, this is a while back.
This
is like probably around March.
If there's
March
yeah, dude, they're gone. My Walmart is like current. Damn, that sucks, because like that's one I like. If I were to get a Black Series figure, like that would definitely be the one, just because I do like the way that guy looks. Of course, he's hard to find and popular. Way to go, Hasbro. So the next one on my list, like we're getting into some like Grail territory here for me, because I was able to acquire, like, I thought I was running out of Grails, because I was getting pretty much close to completing a collection, and then that's whenever I decided to start doing prototype heroine. So while the rest of these are not prototypes, I think there's only one more that's a final production, but this definitely is worthy of the list. I got a prototype of the original Beast Wars Optimus Primal, and there's like not even glue on this. Like there's some of the, like there's a piece of the launcher, like the tip launcher, that's missing, because they didn't glue or melt it or whatever they do to it. And this one is, you can see here on his robot butt, B6. Well, you probably can't see on my camera, but he's B6, and I bought this from my buddy Brett. He gave me in my opinion, a really solid deal on it, and I'm definitely like, this is one of those, like, I want it in the casket with me when I go. You know what I mean? But it's just really cool. Like, that's, never would have thought I would have had the opportunity, and I had the opportunity. So it's very neat to have it, and it's definitely one of my prized pieces.
I just want you to know that I'll exhume your bunny, and then I'm gonna take it out and run it over in the parking lot. He would have wanted it this way.
The toy or his body?
he's just like, he's gonna sit there and like straight face say both.
the toy, and then I'm gonna record it, and then I'm gonna upload it on PrimalSabbath YouTube. That's his last video.
That's good.
All right, so for my number 5, I'm gonna say, I also did a little bit of backtracking, and I got the Mastermind Creations Tarn, and I love this figure. I mean, you were saying that the Hot Flame was really posable. This one, probably just about as much, if not more. I mean, he's got a ton of it, and the transformation doesn't get in the way of hardly any of it. So I'm really impressed with this.
MMC really knocking it out, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's continue that train. Number 5, MMC Tarn. I think it's the best third-party figure of the year, at least the stuff that I bought. I've got a bunch that I didn't list in my top, but I got him in January, and it was over. Like in January, he was top spot. You can put him in one of those badass walking poses, and he looks fantastic. You can pose him with his gun, but the thing I like about him is any pose, and he looks like you get that personality from the comic. And a lot of us that read that comic, he's been like one of the stars, the standouts. It's like a new Decepticon villain that is up there tiered with some of the ones that we grew up with, and that that's due to the writing and the art and Milne and Roberts, and so yeah, that figure is phenomenal.
Oh, that was yours, right?
Yeah, that was number 5, Tarn, right there with you. Dakota.
All right. There's another one I had to take out just because I was like, I need one Marvel Legend in there. And I had to remember how excited I was whenever I saw this at Toy Fair, or was it Toy Fair or San Diego Comic Con? One of the two. The Jim Lee style Cyclops got me collecting Marvel Legend. Well, Spider-Man, but also whenever I saw redoing the X-Men from Fresh, doing the Jim Lee design, giving us that 90s Fox, cartoon X-Men. Yeah, this is amazing. I love this. So I think last year I had Rogue in there.
That's a good figure. Yeah.
All right, Josh, if you would pan to camera 2 for me, please.
All right,
you got it. All right, so
hang on. Is that Kirk Cousins? Oh my god, dude!
Right. Do what?
You started off. It was that picture of Kirk Cousins down there. red.
Oh yeah, it's just a newspaper. So my next one, and this is a little bit of cheating because I did kind of sort of get these at the same time. But Masterpiece Cheetor, and of course the prototype. This was the first Masterpiece prototype I got, so it's gonna and it made me a kind of internet famous for a couple of days. So yeah, I mean, dude, like Cheetor is he's just perfect. Came right off the screen. The cheetah mode is fantastic. I wish we would have gotten the little communicators, but you know, I guess that's neither here nor there. But man, Takara really knocking it out with these Beast Wars masterpieces. So Cheetor was fighting for this spot and kind of like for the number 2 spot, but ultimately, this is where they got. So.
For me, my number 4 has got to be the Transformers Masterpiece MP36 Megatron. I love the way this guy turned out. I mean, everyone was dogging it and everything, but in the end, it turned out to be probably the best from the sounds, you know, all the accessories he comes with, and the fact that they got all these parts and everything to work for the pistol mode. So very happy with that.
This thing's got sounds?
Yeah, dude, you put batteries in the blaster. Oh my god, Josh, really? Are you serious? Hang on.
Dude, I don't ever put batteries in stuff.
I love the sound bites. Like, yeah, there's that third-party one with the Welker clips coming out. I don't give a damn about the Welker clips. I love Japanese Megatron. That dude is like always pissed off. Like, always.
It's my turn.
Yep.
All right, number 4 is Hot Toys Hulkbuster. Easily like the creme de la creme of the Hot Toys collection. Outside of the '89 Batmobile, definitely the finest piece. And you know, it's really not about the size either.
That's a lie.
It's just
like they waited 2 years for it.
Yeah, the fact that they waited 2 years and they put in, you know, being able to put like your Iron Man figure in there, like they didn't have to do that, but you know, I didn't mind that they did, and I was mad that it took a little longer. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's such a centerpiece. If you're into 1/6 stuff and you're into the Marvel stuff, it's going to be an Infinity War 2, which I was happy about. So yeah, I love that thing. I think it took me like an hour and a half to put like 30 batteries in it. It's got lights everywhere. It's got lights all over it. It's crazy. Like the way that they have piped the lights in this thing through and it's still got some articulation. It's phenomenal.
Hulkbuster, designed by Asian Kid Matt.
Amazing.
All right, let's see. I'll do these ones. I had more than this, but I went with the DC Collectibles Bombshells Hot Girl. There's ones that have more detail than she does, but I just love Hot Girl, and to get one, you know, I mean, like I was hoping I would get an Icon Series one, and that would have probably been on my list if she, you know, what. But I love the Bombshells design, how it kind of throws back to that 60s style and 50s style, and they look really good. I love them.
All right, so Rick, you, Dalton, and I, we've kind of we've been talking about like iconic IDW like characters and things like that with like Tarn and the Hot Rods, but no comparison, man. Like this definitely is top 3 worthy. Is the Mastermind Creations Tyrantron, the IDW Megatron, and I'm using it in the Tyrantron, like the more than meets the eye setup, but it's cool because it had that minor Megatron setup. Honestly, I wish they would just sell the base so I could put my minor Megatron bits on that. You know, like it's probably the best writing we've ever had for Megatron in the entire IDW run, and like those have been just fantastic stories. But we get this perfect representation. You know, he never even had an alt mode. after he like joined the Lost Light. Never transformed up until they left him where they left him. So this, like, you know, the fact they kind of did come up with an alt mode, and you can kind of fan mode it if you want. This is just, man, this is the perfect Megatron in my opinion. And it's just awesome. It's a great figure. It's easy to, you know, manipulate. It's got all the articulation you could want. Just a fantastic, solid release.
All right, so for my number 3, and it's going to be the Masterpiece MP32 Optimus Primal. And you know,
why are y'all waiting a year to get?
I got it at the beginning of the year, so. But you know, having it in hand, you know, it's great. I love the deco and everything. We said it before. It looks like he jumped right out of the animation, so really happy with that. Look forward to getting the Supreme Commander.
That's cool. All right, number 3. Back to 1988 again, and I picked up Jiajia Rolling Thunder at JoeCon, and it was definitely in my. It's like in my top 5. There's a few. There's 1 or 2 I still don't have, but this one is. I like it because I like a lot of the ones that have a little play set to it, and this one opens up and it's got like a little vehicle on the inside that Armadillo can ride in. It's got a cool play feature. And the other thing is, like, of all the G.I. Joe vehicles, this one, when you pop it out and pull up it's got two nukes that it can launch, which basically means if you own this as a kid, you could just wipe out all your friends' vehicles. You just pull out the Rolling Thunder and that's it. So there you go.
You're dead. I got you. No, you can't live anymore.
Right.
All right, one more bombshell. Again, you know, like Batwoman, Batgirl. I love those characters more than I love Harley Quinn, even though I do like her. This is by far the best detailed Bombshells figure. All from her boots, socks, belt. She's even got like a little Batman little keychain on the bottom of her cork gun. The face sculpt, beautiful. Like Joker on the back of her bomber jacket. If you're wanting to just like, let me test the water, see if I like these Bombshells, because they're canceling the line, so there's only going to be like 8 of them. Start with Harley Quinn. See how you like it.
All right, man. My number 2 and my number 1. These were very hard to set apart because they're both definitely like grails for me. But one more so than the other, because you know the one that made it to number 2. The only reason it's number 2, not number 1, is because there's like 50 of them still, you know, out there ready for people to buy. But the number 2 one is the Beast Wars Dinobot prototype. This is the one that the Star Wars Protos Z75 guy was selling. It's a first shot, and like there's definitely some like looseness to it, and it's just, I love the colors, man. The white, the black, the clear. It's just it's awesome. Like, you know, it's not like particularly super rare or anything. It's just I just really like the colors. It's my favorite Beast Wars character. So getting it, you know, it's like, you know, definitely at the time it was like that. You know, that's definitely the one that I want. You know, like indefinitely want. So that made it to my list.
That's cool.
All right, so my number 2, because I still to this day cannot put this figure down, is the Mastermind Creations Megatron. Just, you know, like you said, Dakota, the paint, the sculpting, the simple and easy transformation, and, you know, unhindered, relatively unhindered articulation, just beautiful. And then even switching between Megatronus and Megatron.
It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
It is a nice toy.
It is a very fun toy.
It is. I like that you could do both versions, you know, like Dakota was talking about. I mean, to me, it's got like 3 or 4 modes, sort of. It's
yeah,
a lot with it.
Yeah.
My number 2 is MP Megatron, and I don't talk much about the Masterpiece, not as much as you guys. I know you guys talk about Masterpiece a whole lot, but I bought like maybe 3 of the third-party Megatrons, and I always knew I'd get this one, but I didn't know like when I got this one that it would be like so amazing that I would sit in my chair for like, I want to say it was 2 weeks. And every night after work, I came home and transformed it at least twice. I've transformed this toy more than I've transformed any, even MP10, any of the Masterpiece toys. The first 2 times it was just to get it right and to see if I could do it in under 20 minutes, right? And then after that, it just got real fun. Like once I learned it and it had a lot of steps to it, it's probably my favorite Masterpiece toy. And I feel like they really knocked it out of the park with the set of accessories that came with it. You could tell like this is Megatron and he deserves all the praise and respect and worship from the guys who put their hearts and soul into it. So
dude, there was a lot of work that went into that. Like that think that was the first release that had that long life design that they paid to send it off and have it kind of qualify for and all that. Yeah, dude, that's
it's just it's a great toy.
It is. That absolutely is.
All right. One of the more recent figures that I've purchased made it on my list because it's really that good. McFarlane's Borderlands 2 Tiny Tina. Awesome character, fun game, and it's a sign that, hey, McFarlane, you're finally listening to us and giving us articulated figures that we can do cool stuff with. Absolutely love this figure. I'll buy every figure in the line as long as it continues.
That's
what
he
they
did.
Have articulation. And
that's
stuff.
what he did with the Halo toys. All the Halo toys had articulation up until he got to Halo 4, and it was just like, bye bye.
Yeah, once the articulation stops, though, then I'm like, I'm not into buying statues.
All right, man. So my number 1, little bit of story on this one. This is one of those prototypes I couldn't find, over like through China. Like no one hit me up, messaged me, hey, you can buy it now. So I thought I wasn't going to get it, and it really was the only one that I wanted, like that I really wanted, and it's a Masterpiece prototype. Like if it came down to if I can only have one Masterpiece Beast Wars prototype, this would be the one to have, just for how iconic it is. But I had the opportunity to buy it, and I would like to shout out the dude that I bought it from. He runs a Facebook page called Rarity of Convoy. I'm not going to put it out there, but he sold it to me. It comes with 3D printed like faces. At least that's what it feels like. But other than that, it's pretty much final colored plastic. And there were some factory paint apps. I did remove those because I didn't like the way they looked. But here it is. It's the MP32 Optimus Primal prototype, and this is definitely the big pride and joy, just because like it just I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it on the typical Chinese website. And then he had bought a couple, and he was willing to sell this one. So I bought it from him, and it's awesome. It's awesome to have. Came with all the accessories, all the faces and all that. But just really cool to own. Like as a Beast Wars fan, it's already cool that we're getting the Masterpieces, but to essentially have 2 prototypes of Primal in 1 year, one being the original and then the other one being the Masterpiece. It's been a good year for me for being able to do that, and of course being able to buy the Cheetor, which was plentiful. Really, really was awesome. So that's my number 1.
All right, and similar topic, but my number 1 is going to be the MP34 Cheetor. Just like with Megatron, I have not been able to put this figure down. I mean, he is damn near perfect. If I don't say so myself, which that doesn't even work.
Don't.
Whatever. But yeah, I love this figure.
Dude, if I hadn't bought so many prototypes this year, that would have easily been my number 1. Easily. Mm-hmm. It's great. I mean, it hopped straight out of the CG.
The metallic blue, the way they did the spots on him, even having the fake beast mode head on there. I mean, it's perfect.
All right. Top spot. I just want to say, like, this year, as far as like toys, mainline stuff like the Transformers stuff, but also the Hot Toys. This company Blitzway I keep talking about. I feel like this year, for at least for me, this is probably the best toy year in, I don't know, since I was a kid. I got a lot of big pieces this year, but the one thing that kind of cemented it for me is I waited 30 years, but I finally got my G.I. Joe Defiant. And I only have maybe like 2 Grail pieces. One of them is something we're probably never going to see, and that's that Snake Mountain that Super 7's sitting on, that, you know, the 4 Horsemen had worked up. We might never see that. But the other one was this Defiant. I just can't say enough about this toy. Like, every day, like you know, it's one of those things where I don't like to spend that amount of money for like an old vintage toy, especially one that's known to be like pretty frail and it can break in a heartbeat. But you know, I found someone who had it and it was a good price. And sometimes you just have to say screw it when you want something. So every day I come home, I'll go up to the upstairs where I keep my Transformers and G.I. Joe stuff, and I look at it and I'm like, it just blows me away. So it was something I really enjoy. And I don't know if there's going to be, I don't know if there'll be a Grail piece. I think this was probably, unless they make that Snake Mountain, I just can't imagine there's a better Grail piece.
Rick talks about, he goes, every day that I've had it, I go into that room and I go,
Yeah.
I just look at like they built a statue of himself in like Times Square, and he just like admires it. Can't believe they built me out here.
Yeah, man, I just enjoy it.
All right, so this one is it was an 8-pack again, so this one's cheating. I only brought 1 figure. I'm not gonna bring all 8 figures over here, but this was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive made by NECA, and it's the cartoon accurate. You got Shredder, 2-foot soldiers, Krang, and then the 4 turtles, and it also came in a collector's case, and just amazing accessories, amazing detail paint. I just I love these. So I had 2 NECA things that made it, and they were, turtle related,
Whenever you said it was an 8-pack and you were only gonna get like one of them, I thought it was gonna be like those Rainbow Batman. Like,
no, those are made by Mattel.
Okay, because there were like 10 of those things, and I was like,
no,
my boy.
All right, so I figured instead of getting into the topics that we did have there, I guess we can just kind of talk about, some of the things that you think that might have made your list. Like I can think for like me and Rick, because whenever I was looking and I was like, I started going through like, my Instagram photos and my hauls, and I'm like, wait a second. Did we not get any Super 7 Filmation, He-Man, or Masters of the Universe figures, I guess in 2017? We got the Ultimates, but I sold those,
Yep.
But the Filmation style, I'm like, nope, because if we would have, I know that at least 1 or 2 of them would have made the list.
Yeah.
Also, if Thundercats would have been around, at least 1 or 2 of those would have made the list.
Right.
So, those are a couple of things that were missing right there.
I did get the PowerCon sets, but none of them. There's stuff I want, like I want it as part of my collection, but it's not the Filmation stuff that we've kind of been waiting for. And I keep up with you probably keep up with where they're at too. We'll be getting them soon, but it did. I remember last year we probably both had Skeletor.
Yeah, Skeletor, and then like Mumra, and maybe another Thundercat or something like that. Because I know, like, I'll probably, I can already start to tell you what my 2018 is going to be.
Yeah.
Like probably the NECA Baby Turtles, will probably be on there. That new Classics Voltron by Playmates will probably be on there. Merman, Many Faces, Hordak, so like I can already, dive deep, probably I can finish half of my 2018 list right now, probably.
The funny thing is, we've already paid for it. So we already paid for most of this stuff.
just waiting, you know. And I want to let Dalton and Dakota go as well, but I was also thinking, I'm like, you know what? This could have easily been just a Transformer only. Like I think, you know, Dalton and Dakota mainly did Transformers, but me and you, we dabble in a lot more different things.
Yeah.
So, but I could have easily done like a top Transformers, you know.
Me too. I left a lot out.
Dude, like honestly, like it a lot of it just boiled down to prototypes for me. Like I've always liked and there's still quite a few like pre-production items that didn't even make it to my list, and it's like I really was kind of struggling there because I was like, oh dude, like I want to include all this. Like some of it, like I don't know if he wants me to show him or whatever, but that's something else. But like I also got I got a ton of like I think I bought like all of my 3 3/4 inch Modern Joes this year. Like I was just buying up Snake Eyes. But like I found those 2 25th anniversary box sets, or 3 of them really. I paid $30 shipped for the 3. One was the Cobra Legions, and then the other Cobra and Joe box sets. And then I picked up like a couple other things. That Revolution box set was definitely like that was just right there on the edge. Because man, I love that box set. The Revolutionaries book was good.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like able to put together like a good looking shelf with that, with the Optimus Prime book and, you know, the Revolutionaries and Joe, and like I used, you know, like the Takara Legends Cup. You know, I've got him with Action Man. I wish I could have just put both of those together as one purchase, but that would have been like super cheating. You know, like that definitely made it, and all those Joes. Like I even picked up the Marvel Legend. I picked up the Marvel Legends 6-inch Ares from the Thor Ragnarok wave, and also picked up the 3 3/4 inch Ares, you know, from not too long ago. And I've kind of got him with my, I guess at the time it was Modern Thor, 3 3/4 inch figure from like 6 years ago. And I, you know, I got the 3 3/4 inch Gladiator Hulk from the Ragnarok movie. So like, dude, there was definitely a lot. I picked up some of the Mattel Halo figures, which were great. The McFarlane Titan from Destiny, the Target exclusive, that was a great one. I got like Beast Wars Wolfang as a Christmas gift, and that's one that that almost made it. I got the 10th anniversary Megatron this year, which I'd been missing. I had the 10th anniversary Primal, but not the Megatron. So I think the MP38 Primal, the Supreme Commander version, just with all the toy accessories that it came with. So yeah, dude, man, there was a bunch of stuff I really had to shave off. I picked up the other 2 DJD members this year as well, Kaon and Voss.
Yeah.
So like, and like those were like, one turns into a freaking sniper rifle. Like, come on.
The other electric.
The other an electric chair. And like I picked up a lot of classic stuff. Like I finally got that Generation Skids and Crosscut. You know, I picked up the Generations Nightbeat, and I got the third-party kit to make him look a little more IDW. There was just a lot. Like there was a ton that could have made it to this list. So.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately I had to shave off the Leo Prime and the Astro Train that came out near the beginning of the year, but I also shaved off the Black Lion Luke and Stormtrooper. I really, all this other stuff I liked, it just barely beat those other 4. I mean, same with God Jinrai. I mean, it's a great set, but I've had a lot more fun with these other figures this year than those.
I think that's also kind of how I did it. Is what I think I based it off of what looks the best. What like Sabine, out of all the Star Wars 6-inch Black Line series figures, like I'm a big character person, where I gravitate towards a character more. But I whenever I looked at all those, I'm like, Sabine was one of the best looking ones. I had, before I had to eliminate her, for Megatron, I had Hera over here because it was one of the best looking ones as far as looking like it came from the cartoon and straight to my hands in figure form. You know, like I said, Harley, not my favorite. Like I like Harley and everything, like not as much as like some people. They're just Harley crazy. I like Batgirl, you know, and I like Batwoman, you know, and Hawk Girl, but the Harley's the best of those figures, you know, as far as all the details go. So it's, you know, the same thing with the, you know, the Rogues Gallery and Clayface. Those are just some of the better designed figures to look like they came from cartoon and then just jumped right onto my, you know, my shelves and stuff. So
yeah, I do Marvel Legends. I don't do every Marvel Legend, but I do a lot. But I didn't name any because there was just so much stuff this year. But if I would have still kept the Vulture. I still like the little Vulture figure that came out. I played with that a lot and took a lot of pictures of it. So the MMC Megatron, he was number 18, but you know, you guys said everything you need to say about that. And you know, I do a lot of vintage Joes. There are a ton of like figures that I wanted as a kid that I have now that I've been picking up this past year, but I didn't name them just because the vehicles speak louder to me. You know, they have a much better presence in the room, and I still see G.I. Joe. I know a lot of people disagree, but I still see G.I. Joe as kind of the vehicle, like the original plan of the marketing plan of its vehicles, and then the figures are accessories for the vehicles, especially the scale, man. I really miss it. It's cool, you know, because of eBay, and then, you know, there's a lot of people who deal in vintage G.I. Joe. You know, thank God they're out there, and thank God some people took good care of their toys. If you look hard and search, you can find some really good vintage G.I. Joe toys. That's probably what I enjoyed the most this year, were the old vehicles and stuff. There's one that I'm getting tomorrow that's kind of from Santa to me, but I'll take some pictures of that. I'll take pictures tomorrow.
What really sucks is like I'm more of a modern Joe collector, so like it's hard to find because there's a lot of customs that I want to do, and like I wanted to do a custom Springer and Magnus from The Only Human.
Yeah,
and I got the parts list for all those. And like just doing the Springer is going to cost me like $50 just in the figures, you know, not including like, you know, the paints that I'm going to have to buy, you know, but it's like, oh man, like I wish the modern stuff was a little more.
It's crazy. I do both. They're all expensive, dude. The modern stuff is sometimes it's more expensive than the vintage. So, and the vintage stuff is good versions of the vintage stuff. See, I don't do any cracked elbows. If the old figure has cracked elbows, I don't buy it. I want all my stuff at this point. You know, I want everything to be like C9. So that's how I'm collecting. But the modern stuff, it's almost expensive, if not more expensive. So, and there's if you're talking about like the movie figures, they're out there. You can find those. But
it's
some of
the Pursuit of Cobra stuff, like
the Pursuit of Cobra stuff is hot, dude.
It's crazy.
They're great action figures. If anybody hasn't checked out like Pursuit of Cobra, just as action figures, not even G.I. Joe action figures, just as action figures, the Pursuit of Cobra stuff is so hot. I mean, you get like 20 accessories. Josh, you awesome. Would like if you picked up the modern Alley Viper and like the Pursuit of Cobra Beachhead, you would like that stuff.
Yeah, I like those suit characters.
You would like those figures. They come with so much, and the fact that they can do all this stuff that like Hot Toys does it with like a bigger figure, that's so much easier. I mean, I think. But you look at like what they were doing right before everything kind of took a dive in that Pursuit of Cobra. They're amazing figures. I like to take pictures of the stuff when I get them, and I don't go outside and, you know, I don't have the time to go outside and do all those things, but I just like to set them up and put them in poses and mess with the accessories because, you know, the original ones, they only came, you get like a gun or a backpack. I mean, some of the figures came with more, but for the most part, everybody got really simple stuff. Yeah.
Or sword and shield.
None of those made my list, but at the same, it's mostly because of the presents. Like, and I got a lot of other stuff this year. But man, there's some good stuff. The club put out some good stuff too. I like the modern ambush. I like hardcore old vintage GI Joe guys. They're really hard on some of the modern stuff. But man, some of the stuff the club puts out are really good modern takes on some of the stuff they haven't made.
And you know what else would make our list in 2018? Just doing predictability. Another figure that's going to make it is Masterpiece Galvatron. He's going to make it.
There it is.
And then if they did 6-inch GI Joe figures, I'd have a few from that. If they did 6-inch mass figures, or Silverhawks, I'd probably have 1 or 2 out of that as well. So
I really hope Takara announces the movie figures like Springer, RC Cup. It's time that they did. Like, I buy third party, but I'm at that point now where like I only buy third party if I really like it. I mean, we talked about MMC, and that's kind of, but like I'd rather buy like an official Springer that looks exactly, no sacrifices unless there's small sacrifices.
That's why it's taking a little bit longer.
Yeah,
man, I'm holding out for the official Springer. Like if there's any like G1 character I just really do dig, it's definitely Springer.
I hope they make the announcement. I mean, I know usually we know about this stuff a year ahead. I'm like, we haven't heard anything, so.
And they're putting a lot more love into these MPs. Like
it's taken. I think that's what's taking longer. Like Dinobot, I think is holding me up, Dakota. I want Dinobot, but not as much as I want Springer.
Even Sunstreaker, like there's so much love going into Sunstreaker, so much design. But Dinobot for sure, man. Like that looked like it was a project, and it turned out damn good. If they can do that for Dinobot, they can no doubt do that for Springer.
Yeah, it's undoubtedly going to end up in mine and yours top 3, Dakota.
All right,
Dinobot's going to be my 1.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and end the show because it's been an hour and a half. Sportimus.
Well, Mike's here.
If they want to see if they. Yeah, but Mike, he stayed out because he didn't want to do the list, right? I saw him in the chat.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right, let's go ahead and outro ourselves. Dakota, where can people find you, man?
You can find me everywhere at PrimalSabbath.
All right, Dalton.
I'm Dalton. You can find me everywhere at Daltonians TFs.
I don't know if Mike's there or not. You can find Mike at Just Another G.I. Joe Show.
Yep, and I'm Rick, and you can find me exclusively on Twitter as Shatrdglassjazz.
All right, and you can find me G1 Extron on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook pages, the G1 Extron. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Peace.